sorry, I'm still sick. When I look at the test like this, just straight on, it's negative. And I don't know if I have what's called line eyes, but when I hold it up to the light, I think I see like the faintest darkening of that area where the second line would be. Again, I'm testing like really early. It might be way too early. I definitely have an inkling that I'm pregnant. I am in fact not pregnant. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. My name is Alyse. I am the mama of the Sykes family. I am currently in our master bathroom because my daughter is finishing up her nap and I'm trying to be as quiet as possible. We'll see how that goes. This is going to be the first video that you guys are seeing in 2-ish weeks, I think. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you probably don't know about all of the chaotic things that have been happening over the last couple months in our lives. If you are interested in hearing more of like a day-to-day with our lives, I definitely suggest you go and follow me on Instagram. I always link it down below in the description bar, or I will add my handle right here. One of the more stressful things that we've been going through has finally come to a close, and will hopefully be either the next video that I share or the video after that. So if you guys aren't subscribed, definitely hit that red subscribe button down below before you guys leave my channel so you can see more exciting videos like this one and continue to hear about all of the growth and changes that are happening with our family. And of course, my battery just died. So by the title of this video, you guys can probably already guess what we're going to be talking about today, and that is the fact that my husband and I have been trying to conceive a baby super casually for a month now, and here recently I just found out I am in fact not pregnant. I see so many videos on Facebook, on YouTube, on all avenues of social media talking about getting that exciting result, finding out you're pregnant, and all of those like exciting trying to conceive videos. And I haven't exactly seen a video like this one where somebody talks to you about how they're feeling, the process behind basically finding out you're not pregnant. If you guys are new, I do already have one daughter with my husband. Her name is Kala and she is almost 20 months old. It kills me to say that, you guys. I have been really feeling it hard in my heart that she's just growing up, and it is just such bittersweet moments with her. Of course, I want her to grow up and live this happy, healthy, beautiful life, but at the same time, it's like time is literally slipping through your fingers, and it is, I don't even know how to accurately describe it. Before I get too much further into the video, I do apologize about the way that I'm looking. It has been so chaotic here lately that I have not had a chance to film. And so I'm taking this moment here today over the next, I'm assuming 20-ish minutes, to film this video literally when I can. And that just so happens to be right after I was on the treadmill. So I just got done working out for about an hour, and now I decided I'm just gonna turn on the camera and talk to you guys. If you're a regular subscriber, you know anyways that I never look super great in any of my videos. So like I said, we do have one daughter already. And before I get any further into talking about finding out we're not pregnant and all of those emotions going along with that, I do just want to say I feel so incredibly blessed to have my daughter Kala. She was legit a miracle. I totally believe she was meant to be exactly who she was, when she was, and for us. She is legit perfect. And do not think for one moment that I don't realize that. She is my entire world. My husband and I got married in August of 2016, and we found out we were pregnant with Kella on our 1-month anniversary. To say we were shocked is an understatement. I was diagnosed with PCOS several years ago, like decades ago basically. I'm that old. And I was always told that I was gonna have a really, really difficult time getting pregnant. If you guys are interested in seeing a video on exactly how I focused on trying to conceive the first time around, let me know by leaving a comment down below. I see a lot of videos across YouTube that talk about tips, tricks, and hacks for conceiving faster. I do recognize that getting pregnant within the first month is super rare and really like such a blessing. And so if I can share anything that we did at that time that could help somebody else, I'd be down for that. Just let me know if anybody is in fact interested. So we got pregnant really quickly with our first daughter, and that kind of set the tone, if you will. I was obviously very overwhelmed, like, and happy and shocked, but at the same time, like, it felt easy to accept because it felt so right. So when my husband and I have been speaking about having a second child, we've been doing so for several months now, just to kind of really make sure that this is something that we want to take on. Because if you guys have kids or know anybody with kids, you know, like, it's such a huge responsibility to take on another life. Like, it is a huge responsibility. So I wanted to make sure we were in the best place possible, mentally, physically, and emotionally, in order to kind of move forward with that. And I definitely don't think it's something that you decide like irrationally. It's something that we mulled over for, like I said, several months. So when we were doing that, we were waiting on another huge life event to kind of come to a close. This situation that I was involved with that required legal action that had been going on for years and years. And we wanted to feel confident in like shutting that door before we took on having another child, because everything that I was going through with that situation was so incredibly stressful, and I didn't want to have to be carrying all of that extra stress. Obviously, you know, all of life's stresses don't go away, but I wanted to like feel confident with that specific door being closed before moving forward. So that happened a couple months ago at this point, and we've decided that we felt confident moving forward in trying to have a baby. And like I said earlier, it just felt like I expected it to happen just as quickly. And it didn't. So something that I did my first pregnancy and I started doing here over the last several months was I was tracking my periods, and I was using 2 different apps. I was using the Ovia app and the Glow app. Let me specifically, there's a lot of different versions of these apps. So the one that I'm using for fertility from Glow is just called straight Glow. There's like a Glow Baby, a Glow Nurture, but those are for other like parts of the journey. So you'll want to do just Glow if you're looking that app up. And I have an Android, I don't have an iPhone, so usually things that are capable of being put on an Android are like super capable of being put on an iPhone, but team Android. Okay, so then the other one I'm using is Ovia Fertility. So again, there's like Ovia Pregnancy, Ovia Parenting, Ovia whatever, and the one that I'm looking at is Ovia Fertility. And I used both of those for my first pregnancy just to kind of track my cycle. And if that's all you're doing, tracking your cycle, it will give you like a fertility window. So a period of time when it perceives that you are going to be more fertile and when you will actually ovulate. That can be altered by so many different other things. Like you can track so much in regards to your period. You can track your basal body temperature, you can track your cervical mucus, you can track the your nose, like how hard the tip of your nose is. Like the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. But if you're just tracking the length and timing of your period, then it's going to give you information about your fertile window that's based off of other ladies' information. So based off of the average timing of other people who have your type of cycle, the length of cycle, all of that information. So like I said, my husband and I tried to conceive the month of January super casually. I was paying attention to the Glow and the Ovia app, but it wasn't like I was doing anything else, if you will. I just kind of assumed it would happen super easily and right away when it did the first time. And when it didn't, when I got my period a little over a week ago, like a couple weeks ago, I was so devastated. And I don't even know how else to describe it besides I was devastated. And I know that that might sound silly, like you've been trying 1 month, you were trying super casually, you weren't tracking like hardly anything, and you didn't get pregnant. And you know, obviously that seems maybe super overboard, but I think in my mind, I just, like I said, had related our first experience so much to what would happen the second time around. And so letting go of that idea was really scary for somebody in my situation. And I'll talk about that more in a little bit. Since finding out I was not pregnant, I had to kind of let go of this idea of having a baby in October. So if you go online and you search due date calculator or due date prediction, you can enter in all of your information regarding your last period, and it will give you a due date, if you will, of this hypothetical child should you become pregnant. And the one that was going to happen for us, or the child that was going to be born for us the second time around, had we have gotten pregnant in January, would have been born in October. And based off of some of our initial wants, we wanted to have a baby either in October or November. And for whatever reason, I had built it up so much and felt so much pressure. And when I got my period and I knew I wasn't pregnant, it was almost like letting go of this idea of having a child in October, like letting go of this child that was going to be born in October. Even though I was never pregnant, like I was never pregnant, there was never a baby. It was like I was letting go of that. And it was so hard. I think another one of the reasons that I found it so hard was because I'm the type of person who likes to have control. And once you get your period, there's kind of nothing you can do in that moment unless you are like seeking out reproductive endocrinology help. You don't need to call anybody. You don't have to report anything. It's just kind of like sitting with your emotions and sitting and waiting in hopes that the next cycle will be different. And if anything, that is something that I want to communicate in this video, is that it is so hard. Like the entire process is so hard to not think about all day long, every single day, day in, day out. And I have no idea how the women who have been trying for years and years and years continue to get up and function and put one foot in front of the other and like live their lives in a productive way. Those women are legit superhuman. So when I got my period and I found out I wasn't pregnant and I didn't have that control, that made it like even more devastating. So some of the first things that I did to try to kind of like help myself through those emotions is I joined some Facebook groups. So there's Facebook groups specifically made for like trying to conceive when you have PCOS support groups, all of those different things. And they're private, so you have to ask to join them. And then once you're in them, you have this like community of women who are going through something really similar, and it has been really therapeutic for me to be a part of that. Again, like, I can already feel some people who want to say like, you've been trying a month, like, get over yourself, it's gonna be okay. And I hear that, but I also like want to communicate in this video that no matter how long you've been trying, it's okay to have those feelings, and it's okay to like need to process them in whatever way is most beneficial to you. The other thing that I did was I purchased an ovulation kit. So specifically, I'm looking at it on my counter. I went out and I purchased the Clear Blue Advanced Digital Ovulation Test. It says it's supposed to be typically identifying 4 or more fertile days, and it's 2 times the days that it gives you versus like other cheaper testing. And the pack that I bought specifically was 20 tests and then a digital monitor, and it gives you this like whole detailed timeline on when you need to start testing, and that is something that I started today. I really struggled with whether or not I wanted to do that, because part of me wants to like just give it up to God and say it happens when it happens, but at the other time, on the other side of things, like, I want it to happen. So when it didn't happen the first month and I was just kind of like letting it happen, it concerned me already, because I told you guys that I was concerned already because I told you guys it was such a different experience than our first time around. But it concerned me also because of my history of having PCOS, the changes that I've experienced over the last few years between having Kala the first time, or having Kala our first pregnancy, and then now. So I just want to be like as on top of things as I possibly can be, in case that even using this ovulation test doesn't allow us to become pregnant. So if you guys are interested in a video where I discuss specifically everything that I'm doing to get pregnant this time around, let me know and I'll add that to my list of content to create. Just let me know by leaving a comment down below. And yeah, that's basically where I am right now. I am struggling, I think, most heavily with not stressing about it, because again, being a person who like really wants control of a situation, I want something and I'm impatient about it, and I want to be doing every little thing that I can possible every moment of every day to ensure that that happens. And what I've been reading a lot about fertility is that like stress in general can really, really affect it. Not getting enough sleep, not eating like balanced meals, and those are things that kind of go to the wayside when I focus on being so hyper efficient. And I think that that is something that I'm struggling with the heaviest right now. PCOS is a very individual thing I've found. In some of the groups that I've joined on Facebook, I've noticed that so many different women experience way different types of symptoms depending on like their own lifestyles and their own bodies, and how PCOS affects them differently. If you guys would be interested in hearing about my specific PCOS journey, let me know also by leaving a comment down below. I'd really have to like take notes over a period of time to like fully write everything down, just because I've been dealing with it and been on this journey for so many years that I want to include, like, I would want to include as much as I possibly could. But if that's something that you guys are interested in hearing about, my journey, the ways that I kind of like combat some of the symptoms that I go through on a daily basis, I'd be happy to do that if there's interest. The point of this video was to kind of just express where I was at emotionally. And that I feel like is gonna help me kind of work through all of these feelings that I'm having, but I'm hoping it will also it will continue to encourage people to open up the dialogue about trying to conceive. It still seems kind of like a really almost like underground topic. People don't really want to open up about, and the fact that there's social media these days, and such a high rate of like pregnancy being built up so much on social media specifically, it can be so hard for people who are having trouble conceiving. And I honestly feel like I've just chipped the tip of the iceberg on this. Again, I realize, and I have seen like in these support groups that I'm in on Facebook, women who have been trying to get pregnant for decades. So I know that what I'm experiencing is literally just the tip of the iceberg, and that there's so much else. So if you guys have a story that you'd like to share that you think would help you kind of work through a place that you're in, feel free to DM me, feel free to leave a comment below. And I think just expressing those feelings is really helpful. At least that's what I found in my own personal story. A saying that I've really been seeing all over the place is baby dust. If you guys are hoping to get pregnant, if anybody out there is hoping to get pregnant, baby dust to all of you, baby dust to myself. I have a really good feeling about this month. When I got pregnant with Kala, I knew that I was pregnant. I want to say the night that it happened, I knew. I just had this feeling. It just kind of goes further along into her story of she's perfect. She had perfect timing. She was meant to be there exactly then. I truly believe that. And so this past month, I knew that I wasn't pregnant. But I just I wanted it so badly that I didn't let myself acknowledge that. I just kept buying pregnancy tests and hoping that I would be wrong, but I knew that I wasn't pregnant. So I have a good feeling about this month. I truly believe in listening and being open to signs, whether or not you guys believe in God, but maybe you believe in a higher power, maybe you believe in the universe being stronger than you are. I truly believe in putting out positivity and receiving positivity back, and also being open to hearing signs. And some people may think that that's silly, but I see signs and I believe them. So I feel good about this month, and I'm excited to be putting this content out, to not only be sharing more openly with you guys about my story and my journey, and I hope that just continues. I hope it's inspired you guys in some way. And like I said earlier, we have a lot of exciting content regarding how we're growing as a family and moving forward. So if you guys haven't hit subscribe yet, definitely do that before you leave this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you guys in my next video, which hopefully will be very, very soon. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I will see you guys then. Bye.